Next would be exercise. Mitochondrial density is going to get bigger and grow with bigger muscles. So if you're lifting, you're doing exercise, whether it's aerobic, whether it's interval, where you're doing some kind of a sprint. Sprints would be better because you're going to be hypertrophying your muscle. You'll be increasing mitochondrial density better. And lifting, anything like that's going to improve the muscle mass, which is going to thus improve mitochondrial density. Just getting more muscle, being more fit is going to stimulate more mitochondria. So that's really important out of the gates as well. And again, the more you have anti-inflammatory support in the body, the more your body's going to want to put on muscle. The more inflamed you are, your body will actually break down muscle in that catabolic response. Cortisol will break down that muscle and you'll become more flabby. So you want to have good anti-inflammatory kind of environment with your diet and lifestyle, and then good exercise is going to help put on that muscle. Next, I would say after that, intermittent fasting is another great option. Intermittent fasting is going to optimize and activate these cellular autophagy mechanisms that cause you to recycle proteins in the body. It's going to lengthen telomeres a little bit. Now, intermittent fasting can be done in a couple different ways. I recommend the low-hanging fruit. If you have blood sugar issues, if you already have fatigue issues, you may feel worse skipping meals. And so you have to look at that and kind of know what person you're talking to, because someone that skips a meal or two, they may feel like crap. And so we have to figure out where the best way to help you is. And so I say 12 by 12 is usually a good starting point for most people. That means no eating by 7 to 8 p.m. is your last meal, and then no eating the next day till 7 to 8 a.m. That's a great approach. That at least gives you 12 hours. And then when you eat your meals throughout the day, go 4 to 5 hours. Do not be snacking. Do not be grazing in between a meal, because every time you graze, you stimulate insulin. Insulin is going to knock you out of burning fat. Insulin is going to block free fatty acid synthesis, and it's going to turn you into more of a carb burner. And so that's going to create more cravings. The more you're relying on carbs for fuel, the more likely you are going to have cravings, because carbs for fuel is like putting kindling or paper in a fire. It's up, it's out, it's up, it's out, it's up, it's out. Now, again, if you're leaner, that's fine, but you still want protein and fat in there. Think of protein and fat as like the logs in the fire. Okay, great. You could put some kindling, some paper, even some gasoline in there. But if you have some logs in there, the fire won't go out. And you don't want to create this reactive hypoglycemic response with your blood sugar going up and down, because that's going to cause cravings, and that's going to create more oxidative stress. So if you look at the book by Christopherson talking about kicking over the truth, talks about mitochondria and cancer, and talks about the fact that glucose does burn kind of more dirty. It's like a diesel fuel, if you will. Part of that is just the oxidative stress and the glycation that happens with lots of carbohydrates. So by getting your body a little bit more keto adapted, that's going to be helpful. And again, if you're really active, you can eat lots of carbs, hundreds of grams a day, and still be keto adapted. If you're less active, though, you want to keep, and you're overweight, you want to keep those carbs lower, so you can know if you are keto, so you can ensure that you're going to be spitting out ketones.